murdered.
I think that lining that kid up there, out there, yeah, he should be paying some consequences for it.
Yo, I want to speak about this because this is a really, really good topic to talk about. All right, retrospect. Now that we have the benefit of hindsight, we can see how detrimental Puffy's decisions were in '97. Let's think about it. All right, so Puff Daddy knew the intricacies and the nuances of the gang world. He intentionally sought out the services of not just any gang in the LA County area, a specific gang that just so happens to be the main rivals of Mob. I think in '96, '97, Mob Pirus were in a bad war with this other Crip gang called Palm and Oak, I think, or something like that. Excuse me if I got the name wrong, Compton. And Southside Crips. So Puffy aligns himself with the Southside Crips coincidentally. Out of all the thousands of gangs that you could have aligned yourself with, you align yourself with the group that is the primary enemy of your rival in the rap game, Suge. So, 24 years old, that's the age that Biggie was when he died. I've got a nephew right now who's 25. He was born October 31st, 96. And I think Tupac died around that time, right? So that's kind of crazy, given the conversation. My nephew was born when Pac died, and he's 25 now, 1 year older than Biggie was when he died. And I remember, and my nephew's like a baby to me. It's hard for me to look at him as an adult. It's hard for me to process him as being on my level, because I'm about to be 32. And I remember him when he was born. You're 25, you're a kid. You got to be 26 if you want to go to college, and your financial information on that paperwork, you got to use your parents' information until you're 26. So you're young. So should Puff Daddy be considered responsible for the death of Biggie Smalls? I think so, to a certain degree. Yes, I mean, he knew the temperature. You were aligned with the gang that had beef with Suge's gang. So you had to have known. You spent a lot. You chilled with those gangbangers. You know what was going on out there. You should have known that in gang world politics, retaliation is a must. There's always going to be a back and forth thing. You take one of mine, I take one of yours. I think Puff Daddy was smart enough, clever enough, intelligent enough to understand that concept, especially considering the fact that he was hobnobbing with high-profile gang members like Keefy D. His homeboy Zip had relationships with different gang members. So I think Puffy understood that in this gang thing, once a death occurs, another death has to occur on the other side. And since a high-profile rapper died on that side, a high-profile rapper should die on this side. I think Puff Daddy understood that. He had a lot of money. He had a lot of influence in the record industry, so maybe he had a false sense of security. But I do agree with Gene Deal. I do think that Puff Daddy should have to pay some money. And I think it was negligent homicide. I think it was accessory to murder because he knew what he was getting himself into. He sought out the Southside Crips for a reason, because they were beefing with Suge's gang. He knew that once Tupac died, he knew Orlando Anderson did it. He knew the Crips did it. He knew. Retaliation, that's what gangs do. So yes, I agree with Gene. Peace.